Okay, so now users can sign up and log in, but we want them to create freelancer profiles or business profiles. And the way it's going to work is that when a user first signs up, they're going to be prompted after they create a normal account to either create a freelancer account or a business account. So let's start off by just creating the form for creating a freelancer or creating a business. So the first thing we're going to do is create views. So we'll come over to our view and create another class-based view. And this will be freelancer create view that will inherit from create view. We have to import that up here. So next to detail view, create view. And for this, we need to specify the model. Again, will be freelancer. And we also want to specify the fields. Since this is a create view, it'll deal with a form. So we just pass in a list with all the fields we want to display. We'll say name, tagline, bio, and website. And then we also want to specify a success URL, which basically, after a successful creation, where should the user go? And so we'll reverse lazy and we'll send them to the freelancer list. And we use reverse lazy because of how things are loaded with Django. And so we want to make sure that Django will be able to identify what page we want them to go to. So it's kind of using reverse lazy versus reverse is a little bit technical, but we want to use reverse lazy in this case. And we also need to import it. So if we go up to the top and we say from Django.urls import reverse lazy. And so we want to override form valid. That takes the self and the form. And this is because we don't want the user to have to select who the user is for the freelancer. We just want it to be the logged in user. And so to do that, when the form is getting processed, we'll just add that field. We'll add that property. We just say form.instance.owner. So this is the owner field equals self.request.user. So we're saying the owner field on this form instance, set it to the self.request.user, so who's ever actually filling out the form. And then we just want to return super freelancer create view self dot form valid passing in the form. So it'll just complete this form validation. And then for the business create view, we're really going to do something super similar. So I'm just going to copy and paste this code here. And we'll just change a few things. So instead of freelancer, this will be business. The model is business. We need to import it though. So from jobs.models import freelancer and business. And then the fields will be name, bio, and I believe that's it for now. So just name and bio. And then we also want owner of this profile too. So now let's make the template. So naming convention that these classes expect is the model underscore form.html. So in this case, it'll be freelancer form.html, and it's freelancer underscore form instead of like freelancer dot underscore create, because the update view and the create view both. So it's kind of just like a base generic form template. So we can go ahead into our template jobs and go new file and say freelancer underscore form.html. Then I'm just going to paste in this HTML code so it extends from the base HTML. It loads in the Tailwind filters so that we can use crispy form with this form. Then we have our block content to display. The title, create a freelancer profile. We have our form here, form with this crispy tag, and then a button that is styled. And then we'll create another file, so another template, and this will be business underscore form.html. And I'll grab some HTML very similar to the freelancer form. Again, it extends the base.html. It loads the Tailwind filters. Then we have our block content. We have a title here, then we have the form that we're rendering crispy. Always remember to have that CSRF token. If you're getting an error, that might be the issue. And then the last thing is to set up the URLs. If we come over to urls.py and we import freelancer create view and business create view, we can create some new paths. We can say developer/create and business/create, like so. Freelancer, the name will be freelancer-create, business create view.as view, and this will be business create. Awesome. So now these should work. If our server is still running and we go back to our site and we go /developer jobs/create. Boom, we should see this form here that specifies the name, the tagline, the bio, the website, and save. But now we want to update it so that as soon as a user signs in for the first time, they either select to create a freelancer profile or a business profile, so they kind of have like two choices. Or if they log in again and they don't have a freelancer profile or a business profile, as soon as they log in, we want to prompt them to create one again. So we're just going to create a view that handles that logic and then settings and have it so that's kind of where they go in after login and sign up. So let's go back in the code. Actually create some methods on our user model, run them to get some information about the user who's logged in. And so we'll create a function called getFreelancer that takes in self, and that says if has attribute self freelancer. So if it's a freelancer, then we'll return self.freelancer. So we'll actually get that freelancer. And then we'll have one that says get business. So it'll just get their freelancer or business profile if they have one. If has attribute self business, then return self dot business. And excuse me, this right here should be self dot freelancer. And otherwise return none if they don't have a freelancer account. And if they don't have a business account, then return none. So we can kind of use this to get the freelancer or get the business account and check if they actually have one, because if they don't, then it will return none. And now let's create a view that we can actually use when a user logs in or signs up or logs in. So we'll just call this will just be a function-based view because it's kind of a custom functionality. We'll call this handle login. We'll take the request. And then what do we actually want to do? We want to check if the user has a freelancer or biz account. And if they do, we want to take them home to the home page. Otherwise, if they don't, want to render some template where they can select, one or the other, to create one or the other. So we'll say if request.user.get or request.user.get business. So if either of these returns a valid object and not none, then that means we can return reverse lazy to the freelancer list. So basically the home page. So we need to import this redirect so we can get it from shortcuts. So if this doesn't return, if these both return none, that means the user doesn't have a freelancer or a business profile. So then we want to return render request job/choose account.html. We can pass an empty dictionary, it doesn't really matter. So this view handles this logic. Now let's hook it up to a URL. So we'll come down here and duplicate this first one and just say account-setup, and then we call this handle login, so it gets imported right there, and the name will be handle login. And so the next thing we have to do is create the template. So in template/jobs we have handle, or we have choose account.html. Then I have some markdown to paste in here, so it extends from the job.html, so it'll have that navigation at the top. Then we have our block content here, and it says choose your account, and then either a freelancer or a business, and those are both link tags. So this one takes you to freelancer create, and this is business create, so those are those two forms. So awesome, so let's just see if this works. So if we go back to our project and go to account setup, anonymous user object has no attribute get freelancer. And it's because I'm not logged in. So the other thing we have to do is actually update that view so that it's only logged in people that can access it. So we have to say login required. This is a decorator. And so this makes it so that only logged in users can access this view. We have to import that, so we'll say from django.contrib.auth.decorators import login required. And now if we try and go back there, it'll take us to the login page. So if we log in, and then we go to /account setup, you can see that we already have a Freelancer account, so it takes us to the Freelancer list page. But we want to make it so that it automatically takes us to that handle account or account setup page right when we log in for the first time, just to check to make sure. So we're going to go back to the code, go back to our settings, and we're going to add a update to the login redirect URL. Instead of freelance list, let's do handle login. So now if we were to log out and then sign in again and go dom@sup.com and enter our password, and we go back to our code and our server, we can see that after we logged in, it took us to account-setup. It saw we were logged in and it saw we had a Freelancer account, so it took us home. And to see how it would work if we didn't have an account, a Freelancer or business, we can sign up. We could say dom@biz.com, set up a password, sign up, and it should take us to this page here now. So we either choose a Freelancer account or a business account. If we click Freelancer, it takes us to this Freelancer create page. If we choose business, it takes us to this business create page. Very cool. And if we say dom biz test, this is a test, and we save, then we get an error. Super type object must be an instance or subtype of type. And I think the issue is that when I copied over the code, if we go back into the view, when I copied over the code, I didn't actually update this right here to be business create view. So it was passing kind of the wrong instance in there, the wrong class. So if we try that again, business.create, and we go, this is a test. Perfect, now it works, and I'm logged in up here, and that's working. Sweet. So now we have it so the login flow is working. But now we also don't want users to be able to go to the Freelancer or business create view if they're not logged in, because we'll get another error since it's attaching the owner on that model to the logged in user. So if somebody goes there and they're not logged in, they're going to get an error. So we can also login protect those. And we use the login required decorator on this function, but since these are classes, we can use mixins. And so we have to import from django.contrib.auth.mixins import login required mixin, and we can grab that. And whenever you're using mixins, you want to put them to the left. So we'll paste that in there, and then to the left of the create view, and we'll paste that in here to the left of the create view. And now if we go back to the site and we log out and we go to /developer/create, it brings us to the login page. If we go to /business/create, brings us to the login page. Perfect. So just a recap of where we're at now. We have this nicely styled Freelancer site that lists all the freelancers using class-based views. We can view a specific developer profile. We can sign in and create accounts. We have a custom sign-up flow so that when a new user is created, they're also prompted to create a Freelancer or a business profile. And the next thing we're going to do in the next video is learn how to handle user uploaded images so that the Freelancer or business can have an avatar. Awesome. So as usual, if you found value in the video or if you just enjoyed it, appreciate leaving a like, subscribe so you don't miss the next video. And if you have any thoughts, questions, or any kind of comment, leave a comment below. Thank you.